What's up, y'all? How we doing? How we doing? I wanted to make a quick video today. Just talking about my personal life. It amazes me that me whining about my personal problems and the shit that I'm dealing with gets like 10 views, and I talk about a fucking PlayStation headset and it gets 300 views. In a way, I'm surprised, but in a way, I'm not. Like, nobody cares about your problems and uh, you know, products that they use in their everyday life. Obviously, they'll want to read about that and hear about that. So, but I don't plan on catering to what people want to watch. I don't make these videos because I want to get wealthy or because I want to get big. I make these videos because I want to make these videos. At the end of the day, I want to say what I want to say on certain subjects and certain matters, and that's it. I'm not gonna do review after review because that's what get clicks. So today I just wanted to take a moment to talk about how proud I am that this is the first month that since my wife has left that as a single father I have single-handedly paid all my bills and watched my baby. And to a lot watching, that might sound like a minor accomplishment, but I have a 3-bedroom apartment. I have a car note. I have so much stuff, and I got put in such a tight spot that it took a minute to get going. So I used to work full-time waiting tables and made damn good money. And for the first year of mine and my ex-wife's relationship, that's what we did to survive. Is she was a stay-at-home mom and I waited tables. I worked full-time, then came home. And the first 8 months that the baby was alive, that was it. And Ari, my ex-wife, was miserable. She was miserable as a stay-at-home mom, and she would pick fight after fight with me after work, being insecure, getting in her head. She was suffering from postpartum, and with nothing to do all day but take care of the baby, she would just sit here and stew and think of ways to fight with me. And so she would pick fights with me after work, and she would pick fights with me at work. I literally would leave my phone with her whenever I went to work because she didn't have a phone. And she still found ways to think that I was cheating and whatnot. And for the first year, I worked full time. I dealt with everything. Like, that woman isn't capable of going into Walmart by herself. Like, I literally did everything, deal with all the bills, everything, all the moving, the leases, the talking to landlords, everything. That woman is the definition of codependent. Eventually, the fighting and the bullshit boiled over. Like, it was go to work, and I was working 60 hours a week, 12-hour shifts, waiting tables, go, 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 no breaks, no time to eat. Come home, would fight with her, then have to watch the baby till like 6 a.m., go to bed, wake up at 3 p.m., start all over again, and that was it. Go to work for 12 hours, come home, fight, watch the baby till 5 a.m., go to bed, because they would stay awake and they were basically on my schedule because she wanted to hang out with me, which is sweet, but we weren't hanging out, we were fighting. And it led to me missing days. It led to drama happening. There was one day she actually just flat out said she wasn't going to watch the baby and made me take the baby to work. I literally had to take my 1-year-old child, not even one, to work at a restaurant. And all because she just refused to watch the baby that day. So eventually I got fired. And when I got fired, I decided, hey, you know what? Why don't you go work full time? You're not going to make as much money as I did waiting tables, but you can get a minimum wage job. It'll get you out of the house. I can DoorDash and I can work part time and bring the baby with me, and we can make ends meet that way. And that's what we did for the last 2 years. She worked full time, I worked part time. I still took care of all the bills and everything and whatnot. And we were barely scraping by because I made good money waiting tables, and our money basically got cut in half whenever I started doing DoorDash and she started working full time. But whatever, if it got her out of the house and made her happier, whatever. So I'm giving all this backstory because it basically led to what we have now. And so we moved into this apartment, which is more expensive than our last one, and we were barely scraping by, and it definitely took both of us working to pay for this apartment. And while we were moving into this apartment, she was cheating on me. And the month I spent setting up this apartment, she was cheating on me. She moved into this apartment with me knowing that it was going to take both of us working to pay for it, and was cheating on me. And she had food stamps that she let lapse and did nothing about. So we started to have to pay for food. We had an increase in rent. And then I found out she was cheating on me, and she just disappeared. And then she withdrew all the money from the bank account, and I got fired from DoorDash because I finally lost it on a customer. And that customer, man, it was an Aldi's order. It was 60 items, 25 miles of driving for $20. So after gas, $17. After tax, $15. After card, you see what I'm saying? $14. 2 hours of work for $14. And I had shopped for everything. And then this guy tried to do a switch and bait and was like, no, all the fruit's incorrect. I want organic. Which in DoorDash, like, organic fruit is more expensive. You put in the regular fruit. I can't just switch it out for the more expensive organic stuff. And I was supposed to reshop for everything, and I was already pissy that I was doing this shitty order, and I finally smarted off to him and canceled the order. And he reported me because that's the worst thing he's ever had to deal with in his fucking life. And I ended up getting fired from DoorDash, and she left, and she quit her job, and she withdrew all the money. So basically, I got put in a situation where the person who worked main full-time is gone. I now don't have income. I now have a child. We no longer have food stamps. Now we're in an apartment that costs more money, and I have 2 weeks to come up with rent and figure out daycare and a plan. So thank God for my grandmother, because she helped me with rent and bills. The second month, whenever I started figuring out what I was going to do, which was Uber, I was unable to work because I was unable to sleep. I could not sleep. I could not eat. I went from weighing 155 to 105, and I legitimately could not sleep, and I could not work. I could not eat. I could not function. It took everything in my power just to watch her and take care of her and let her know that everything was okay and to not show anything, right? Because she barely noticed when her mother left. As depressing as that is to say, when she's staying out till 11 every night, fucking some guy, and I'm putting her in bed by the time she comes home, and I'm taking her to work with me and taking care of her every day, yeah, no, she's not really going to notice whenever she leaves. So me not being able to eat or sleep was directly affecting me working. And I was not being able to get out and Uber as much as I needed to make ends meet, which led to me having to borrow money from my grandmother to pay rent and pay bills and for food. And Then I came up with the babysitter, and it was my cousin who lives an hour away. So I was driving an hour one way. So I was driving 2 hours to drop Persephone off, coming back and Ubering for 8 hours, 8 to 10, and then driving 2 hours again to go pick her up. And not only was that just not sustainable because of how long of a day that was, but the gas was significantly, like, I was spending a ridiculous amount of gas. And it just wasn't sustainable and ended up not working out. And now I bring her with me, and she works with me. I let all my customers know I can only sit 3. Sometimes if I'm picking up drunk customers, I can fit 4 if they're willing to squish and sit on a lap. As a matter of fact, today we had a concert we were doing, and they were totally okay with that. They sat on a lap, and people are really encouraging about it and understanding about it. But so I figured that plan out of watching the baby. And oh yeah, I finally got prescribed anxiety medicine for sleep. I suffer from general anxiety disorder. I've been to the hospital and ER over 10 times for panic attacks that I legitimately thought were heart attacks, and I have never been able to get my hand on anxiety medicine because I'm an addict, guys. I'm an addict. So why would I get something for a panic attack whenever, like, the way that I get treated is amazing. Some Karen cunt that screams over her McDouble having too much ketchup on it, she gets 160 Xanax a month. No problem. Probably has a couple Perk 10s stashed away too. But me, who literally has gone to the ER multiple times because of panic attacks, who is the most anxious person ever, and it comes out in anger and bitterness, and I don't mean it to. Whenever I'm anxious, it just comes out in irritability, I guess. And whenever I go to the hospital for a panic attack, they don't even give me anything. They think I'm drug seeking, so they just make me sit in a room for 4 hours basically until it passes, and then I go home, and then they charge me $1,000. It took me mentally and physically deteriorating to the point that I was literally fucking malnourished, losing my mind because I couldn't sleep, and fucking felt like I was dying to finally get put on Klonopin, which is a benzo for panic attacks. And imagine that, after getting put on it, I was able to finally sleep. I was able to finally function and not have panic attacks every day and do what I needed to do. So I got prescribed the Klonopin. I was finally able to start getting sleep. I was finally able to start working every day on schedule, making a routine. I got on food stamps. I got on WIC. I figured out babysitting, and I finally started grinding. And I have a lot in bills, and I did it. For the first month, I have finally paid all bills on my own and watched the kid and taken great care of her and put food on the table. And I just wanted to take a minute to fucking give myself a little pat on the back and to say to any other single parent out there, single mother, single father, like, it's hard, man, but you got this. You got it. And it's hard. You know, I got all the bills paid, but I got no money left over. You know, I'm not able to save anything. I'm barely scraping by, and it never ends. It's like, okay, now rent's paid, but now I gotta turn around and $100 is due this day, and now 300 is due this day, and now 150. If I make 150 tomorrow, then 150 can go to that, and then this is due, and then that, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then, like, all the people that talk about how easy it is to live and survive, you know, the elderly, the fucking boomers that sat here and could actually, make it on minimum wage, or, got handed their dad's business when they died, or got a fucking $100,000 cushion from their parents to go to college. All these people that talk about how easy it was to survive, especially 30 years ago, have no fucking idea what it's like today to make minimum wage or near minimum wage, because there are just more in bills. You got more to pay for. Everything's not only more expensive, rent is more expensive, everything's more expensive, but you got bills that you didn't have before. Paying your fucking phone bill for minutes and a cellular and a cell phone. That's not something you used to have to do back in the day. Fucking Wi-Fi, that's a bill you didn't used to have back in the day. All these streaming apps, like, sure, cable used to be a thing, but now you got all these fucking streaming apps. My point is there are so many in bills, and then food's at an all-time high, and somehow, some way, my ass managed to make it work. And I'm dumbfounded, and I'm really proud of myself for. I got put in a position, man, where I thought for a moment we were both gonna lose our kid. I thought we were gonna be homeless. I thought we were both gonna lose her. Alright, my ex-wife, without a doubt, cannot take care of her. She could not do what I do. She spreads her legs for a place to stay. She literally sucks a dick for a ride to Walmart. When she needs to go get groceries, she's got to hit up that 35-year-old desperate tweaker guy and fucking suck him off just to get a ride to Walmart. I'm not being mean when I say that. That is the legitimate truth. That is how she survives. She spreads her legs. That's why she did that to me. She has 3 other kids that she literally never sees and did the same thing to the other guy. She cheats on her partners because she knows that she can't. Like, if her and I were to break up, she would have nothing, right? I drive, she doesn't. I take care of the bills, she doesn't. She literally can't do anything. So she has to cheat. That way, when we break up, she can immediately move in with him, or the next guy, and the next guy, and the next guy. And no, she's not capable of raising Persephone. And I saw this stat that was like, kids raised by a single father end up being more successful than kids raised by a single mother. And I think that's why. Because not every single mom. There's some single moms out there that bust their fucking ass, dude. But there's a lot of single moms out there that don't try. They just are looking. Their way of surviving is jumping from dude to dude to try for them. That's what my mom did. That's what my ex-wife does. I lived with 13 different guys growing up, man. My mom didn't try. She just fucked a different dude for a place to stay. That was literally it. So yeah, I can totally understand why that statistic matters. What she's gonna see is me grinding and hustling every day in discipline and making ends meet, not spreading my legs for a place to stay and getting by off my pussy, like, to put it bluntly. Because yeah, what would a kid learn from that? Especially a girl. For the first time, man, since all the shit's gone down, I figured out somehow a way to pay for a 3-bedroom apartment. I have so many bills and debts that I signed up for whenever I was married, like this iMac, I pay for every month, my PlayStation, the new car mats that I got for Uber, my credit card. Whenever she left, I have an Apple credit card, and I basically had to throw like groceries on it, so now it's up to $1,000, so I gotta make a double payment on it every month. And then my phone goes on it, and I only have like 3 more payments, but I got the iPhone 14 Pro when it came out, and the phone payment goes onto the credit card every month. So, and then I got a car note and insurance, and somehow I pulled it out of my ass. And I don't know whether to cry or celebrate, because on one hand, like, I'm happy and I'm proud of myself and I just want to keep going. I'm just trying to take it a day at a time. But my God, like, is this it? Just grinding all day, every fucking day, just to barely scrape by. I don't know. I'm not trying to make a super depressing video. This is supposed to be a positive. This is supposed to be a celebration. Like, this is a big deal. I have officially been able to show and prove that I can financially provide for my daughter while she's out doing jack shit, having no responsibilities, not a care in the world, no help for her, not buying any diapers, not doing shit. I was able to get diapers, wipes, vape juice. We're smart. We cook. We don't eat out ever. You know, I'm even having to get car maintenance done. I just got 4 new tires and one's already got a leak. So I got a Firestone appointment Tuesday, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm happy I pulled it off, and I'm worried about winter coming up. I hope that I can get to a point where I can start making a few hundred extra a month and save. Because, I mean, I got to pay taxes, and, so, like, I haven't even began to think about that. But I'm hoping that once I get these debts paid off, because I'm paying about $600 to debts a month. So once I save that, then maybe I can start actually saving money and get to a point where I can put her in daycare and then start waiting tables and make better money. But at the end of the day, I don't want to wait tables until I'm 50, dude. Waiting tables is a hard job. I enjoy it. I'm very good at it, but it's a hard job. Customer service is hard. But yeah, I just thought I would take a moment and share. Like, tonight was such a good day. I made $300 Ubering tonight. There was a Pitbull and T-Pain concert here in little old Branson, Missouri, which is fucking crazy. And made a lot of money tonight. And, God, I'm just trying so hard. I'm so tired, and I'm passionate about trying to make videos and get my voice out there and leave some type of mark. And so I'm trying to find time to make these videos, but it's 4 a.m. and I don't know. I know this isn't the greatest content in the world, but if there's anybody out there struggling, if there's anybody out there that's dealing with the same things that I am, a single parent, man, just grinding, just scraping by, just know that you matter. Just know that I see you, and to keep doing it, man. Take it one day at a time. That's all you can do. Don't worry about the future. Don't worry about 10 years from now. Don't worry about next year. Take it a day at a time. You got this. Keep grinding. Keep showing your kid what it's about. Because at the end of the day, there are lessons in struggle, right? If I made $100,000 a year and wasn't going through this phase and could just set her up for life for whatever, look at how people like that turn out. That never have to face any issues, that get allowance money from mommy and daddy and get C averages in school but go to college anyway because daddy bought them a brand new car and was able to fucking give them however much money they needed for college tuition, and they became a sex they had a successful career, not because of hard work or brain power, but because of generational wealth. That, to me, leads to not only a flawed character, but how do I word it? You appreciate what you have more when you worked for it. And there's lessons in struggle. I would rather struggle than be handed everything. I don't want her to be handed everything. I mean, I think you want the best for what's your kid, and obviously, if you can afford to send them to college, that's what's best. I think that's every parent's goal. But at the same time, struggle is a lesson, and this is all just one big lesson, man. And you'll get through this. I'm gonna get through this. I'm just super proud of myself because somehow I figured out a way with all these fucking gastrointestinal issues I'm dealing with and lung issues I'm dealing with and stress and anxiety and insomnia and what you name it. Somehow, some way, I managed to pull it the fucking together and finally can financially show that I can take care of this little girl, and she's none the wiser. She's as happy as it gets. For her birthday, she got spoiled at the ass. She is so fucking happy, y'all. She is so happy. God, it makes me want to fucking cry how happy she is because I just want her to stay this young, happy girl forever. I didn't have much of a childhood, man. I grew up way too fast. I was a drug addict by 10 years old. And, I just want her to stay young forever. If I could go back and tell my past self anything, it would be enjoy the moment. Enjoy it. Enjoy being in high school. Enjoy being young. Enjoy being a kid. You know, like, and I just want her to never know what things are actually like. But I did it. I fucking did it, man. And I got no friends. I got no family. I got nothing. And just a fucking will to make it for this little girl. And I did it. And to those of you out there that are grinding, you single mothers, you single fathers that are grinding every day, barely making ends meet, but you're putting food on the table and you're somehow making it work. Good for you, man. And keep going. And you matter. And you're doing a good fucking job. If nobody tells you that. That's my point of making these videos. Is somebody out there will hear it. You're doing a good fucking job. And everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that. And just take it one day at a time. We as parents cannot fail. And we're going to get through this. We are. And take it day by day, man. One day at a time. Thank you guys for watching.